Hi there, nice to be here with you today, flowing and using our breath to deepen our flexibility, some dynamic movement, some breath with movement. Let's do it, let's have some fun, let's invite creativity, and most importantly, let's move slow. So if you have a towel or another another mat or something soft, you can always bring that nearby to put underneath your knees or your pubic bone, whatever position we're doing on the ground. Some yoga blocks, and let's start standing up. Also water, tea, coffee, whatever is nearby. Thank you for being here with me today. All right, let's do it. Let's have some fun. First things first, let's start standing up. Legs are not extended fully, so maybe a micro bend, maybe a lot of a bend. Maybe you start to bounce, hop. Maybe you hop in different spots, lifting the heels, maybe looking down at the toes. Tuck the chin and look up. Start to invite some elasticity or some relaxation of the muscles, the joints. Let it all loose. Shake your head. All right. Telling the body to wake up. Maybe you shake your wrists, your hands. Eventually you find yourself in like a little bit of a chair. So your feet are either together, slightly apart, doesn't really matter. Sit the sit bones down, hands are together, fingers are interlaced. On the next exhale, firm the abs, close the ribs in, root the tailbone down. Legs are turned on. Place your hands on your thighs if you'd like. Place your shoulders near your ears like you're a turtle going into your shell. Exhale, reach the crown of your head towards the sky, shoulders away from the ears. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. Exhale, rise, extend the legs, standing tall. All right, last thing we're gonna do standing up here. Sit down in your chair, hands are interlaced, either in prayer or interlace the fingers like so. On the next exhale, extend the right leg and lift the toes up and turn the body to the right side. So it's almost like we're going into chair. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, rise. You're extending the legs and you're kind of turning the leg, turning the left foot, kind of just focusing on one leg at a time. It may not look like my movement. We're doing a squat, exhaling and turning. Following the breath, turning on the legs. That's the whole point of it. Paying attention to the breath, embodying fluidity, embodying strength. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's stand tall at the top of the mat. Tadasana, mountain pose. The feet are together or hips distance apart, somewhere in between. Crown of the head rises towards the sky. Inhale, reach the arms up and look up. Palms together or slightly apart. Urdhva Hastasana. exhale, hinge the hips, reach the arms forward, and then down, Uttanasana. First, Uttanasana. So I like to grab onto my blocks, forward fold. Sometimes I like to separate my legs. You do you. Listen to your body. What does your body want today? How do your legs feel? Sometimes I like to imagine my head hangs heavy. The crown of the head hangs towards the mat. Inhale, nice long spine. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. 3 more times just like this. Little waves with the spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders away from the ears, look down. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Last time. Eventually we bend the knees and step the feet back. High plank, Utthita Charanganandasana. So shoulders are over the wrists. Press down firmly between all parts of the palm, fingers. Extend the arms. If you need to lower the knees, you can. Stay here. Nice firm abs. Exhale, close the ribs, cinch the ribs inwards. Maybe even puff up through the upper back. That's okay. Ground down through the pointer finger mound and sustain here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower the knees, the chest, and the chin. Ashtanga Namaskara. Hug the elbows in, tricep wrap. Knees, chest, chin. Scapulas. I'm sorry. I'm starting to speak Spanish. I'm sorry. Bring the scapula together on the backside, look forward. Lengthen the throat for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower the belly down. Baby cobra, Bhujangasana. Feet together this time. Press the tops of the feet down. Press the pubic bone down. Hug the elbows in, forehead to the mat. Prepare. And on the next inhale, rise. Open the heart. Roll the shoulders up and back. Baby cobra. So make sure the hips stay down low. Stay here. If you want to look up, that's okay. Sometimes I like to roll one shoulder back and look back and roll the other shoulder back. Following with my breath, using my breath to be more present in this moment. Eventually, you exhale, release the pose, forehead to the mat, root down through the toes, press yourself up and back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. First inversion of the day. Congratulations. You're inverted, heart overhead. Bend the knees, lift the heels. Do whatever you have to do to prioritize the length of your spine here. Press down into the palms, shoulders come near your ears. Maybe you tuck your chin. Finding a way to slow down that breath. Reach into the mat. Create space through the side ribs. Inhale, reach the right leg up, 3-legged dog. Trying to square the hips. You can stack the right hip over the left if that's something you want to do. But for me, I'm going to square the hips by activating my right glute. Reach your hands into the mat. Extend the arms. Exhale, round the spine, shift the weight forward, bend the leg, bring your knee towards your nose, turbo dog. Sustain here for 3, 2, press into the mat, round your upper spine. And 1, exhale, drop the foot down, guide the foot between the hands. If you have a cushion right now, you can place it a little to where your back knee is gonna go down. So the left knee will go down. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes right now, so that's my life. have a beautiful garden and get eaten by mosquitoes. It's okay. Okay. We're in a low lunge. Right leg is bent in front, left leg is extended back. Make it really passive. Try to enjoy it. Grab onto the blocks if you want to integrate some spinal waves. But really just focusing on opening the left hip. Sometimes I need to activate my left glute by place my hand on my left bum and activate it. It creates a different stretch. Sometimes I lift the left leg up. Nice. Exhale, bring the hips back, straighten the front leg, half splits. Create little circles with your front foot. Some little ankle circles, reverse the circles. Okay. Go back into the high lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, low lunge. I'm sorry, not a high lunge. Exhale, half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana. So we can start to lift the right arm up and extend it up in that low lunge. Maybe we bend the back leg, tap the toes and the feet, tap the toes and the hand. Tap the fingers and the toes. Or maybe you don't, you just reach back there. And then exhale, extend the front leg, Ardha Hanumanasana. Bring the right elbow to the right toes. So it's this kind of a dynamic movement of going between this low lunge, hamstring activation, to this half splits, forward fold, tapping the elbow down to the mat or maybe to the front toes. This little teeter-totter, the left hand is on the block or it's down on the mat. Doing this about 8 to 10 times, hopefully not getting eaten by mosquitoes and being tickled by flies like I am. Following the breath. Nice. Eventually you come back into a regular low lunge. Root down through the back toes, lift the back knee, preparing for high lunge. Activate the whole left leg. The left back leg is extended and the left glute is really activated. Rise torso over the hips, palms together at the center of the chest, shoulders away from the ears. This is really hard, active. Sometimes we like to flare our ribs open, which is totally fine. Maybe find a way to extend the front leg, lift out of it slightly, root the tailbone down, bend the back leg, and then go right back into it, keeping the position of the pelvis and sustain here. For 3, 2, relax the expression of your face, palms down on the mat. Reach the right leg back and up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, downward dog. Nice. Find a moment of stillness here. Inhale, lift the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Same thing or different as the other side. Opening the hip or squaring the hip. Reaching the hands into the mat, shoulders are near the ears, finding nice length between the lifted toes and the fingertips. On the next exhale, round the spine, bring the knee to the nose, turbo dog. Sustain here for 3. Press, reach into the mat, shoulders come near your ears. And 1, bring the foot down, step it through, guide it through with your hand, and lower the back knee, maybe on a cushion, a towel, or some extra mats. A moment of checking in, seeing how this hip feels, how this side feels. Maybe you feel tighter here. Maybe you don't. Oh my God, there's a fly trying to crawl on the lens of my camera. So that's great. Okay. Maybe you grab the blocks, And remembering kind of the same thing that we did on the other side. Going into this half splits. Ardha Hanumanasana, straighten the front leg by shifting the hips back. Maybe you do those little ankle circles. Maybe you do the spinal waves. Maybe you wag your tail. Ooh, that fly is going right there. Oh man, that's frustrating. Okay, now going back into this idea of high lunge. This idea of high lunge and sorry, I think it's so funny the flies are going on my camera. And half splits. So the right hand is on a block, on whatever setting you'd like. Reach the left arm up and behind you. When you're in the low lunge, bend the back knee, point the toes, tap the toes to the hands. Tap, yes. And then exhale. Bring the hips back, straighten the front leg, tap the elbow to the shin, the toes, the floor. Going back and forth between this movement. Fiona is hacking over there. She's become a cat. Noticing if this side feels a little easier. Maybe you have to adjust something. Maybe you have to dial it back. That's okay. I think the real gift there is learning your body and the little cues it gives you, the little signs. Okay, eventually you go into this high lunge like we did on the other side. So going into the low lunge, rooting down through the back toes, and then straightening the front leg or the back leg by lifting the back knee. The hands are on blocks on the front thigh or palms together at the center of the chest. If you want to pre-position the pelvis, extend the front leg, bend the back knee, exhale, tuck the tailbone by activating the right glute, and then go back into it by lowering the hips, extending the back leg, sustain here. 3, 2, 1. Palms to the mat, step the left foot back, maybe up into a 3-legged dog. Exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths on your own. Exhale, lower the knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskara. Hug the elbows to touch the side ribs. Contract the whole backside body. Flick the tailbone to the sky. Sustain here for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower down. Going into upward facing dog or cobra pose. Look up and back. Roll your shoulders up and back. Contract the backside body. Exhale, press your hips up and back. Downward dog. Maybe you lift one heel, lift the other, extend one leg, extend the other, pedal it out. Maybe your pedal follows through the whole body. So really slowing down the breath, making the pedal go so slow. It's almost like you're running through sand and then the video is on slow-mo. So really integrating the whole foot, letting the movement follow throughout the whole body, the pelvis, the low back, the shoulders, the neck. Three more breaths on your own. Slow it down. Maybe you find your ujjayi breath, narrowing the back of the throat, like you're fogging up a mirror. Nice. Slowly exhale, bring the knees down, going into Manasana, tabletop pose, shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Ooh. I think I became the feast of about 100 mosquitoes this morning. Okay, find a nice long spine or just a neutral spine. Arms are extended. Press down into the palms evenly, all 10 fingertips. Sustain. Okay. Flick the toes underneath you. Lift the knees only a little bit. Let them hover, beast pose. So we're in tabletop, but we're trying to hover the knees not too high, just above the mat. I like to round through the upper spine by pressing my hands down, separating the scapula. Lower the knees a little more, almost touch. See if you can lift one set of toes, lower that, and then lift the other set of toes. Do this 3 times on each side. I like to do audible exhales to calm the nerves. One more time on each side. Press down into the palms. Slowly lower the knees. Press into the palms. Shift your hips back. Bring the forehead to the mat. Thighs to the belly. Child's pose. Balasana. Reach the hands forward. Maybe you creepy crawl them forward a little bit. Now try to magnetize the armpits towards the mat. Feel a lengthening. The side armpits, ribs. Inhale, puff up through the upper back. Exhale, melt down towards the mat. 3 times like this. Inhale, become lighter on the forehead. Puff the upper back up. Exhale, melt. Okay. Rise back up into Manasana, tabletop pose. Cat-cows. Who doesn't love cat-cows? Lubricating the spine. The nervous system resides in the spine. So it's always good to give it a little extra love. So listen and follow along, or you do you, boo-boo. But our shoulders are over our wrists and our hips are over our knees. Some people like to root down through the toes. Some people like to bring the tops of their toes on the mat. Inhale, going into cow pose, backside contraction. Hug the elbows in, tricep wrap. Flick the tailbone to the sky. Contract the backside body, scapula together. Look up, lengthen the throat, and sustain here. For 3, roll your shoulders up and back. 2, Marijarayasana. 1. No, that's Bitilasana. Exhale, press the ground away. Tuck the chin, round the whole spine. Shoulders away from the ears. Hug the ribs in. Mad cat. Marijarayasana. 3. Make it hard. 2. 1. Now do you. Inhale, look up. Anterior pelvic tilt, shoulders together, shoulder blades together. Exhale, press the ground away, shoulder blades apart, posterior pelvic tilt. So really just playing with this opposing motion of the shoulders and the pelvis, following the breath. I like to do the full rendition of the pose. Some people like to do more of like a dynamic movement where they don't really do the full contracting of the muscles. What does your body need today? What do you need? There's no right or wrong way. About 30 seconds or so, free movement, tending to the back, tending to the spine here. Maybe you shift your weight forward and backwards. Maybe you separate the hands and the knees. Okay. Eventually come back into a tabletop neutral spine position whenever you're ready. Could be a minute from now. It could be now. But eventually bring your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Stay here. Root down through the palms. Reach the shoulders, come near your ears. Activate the left glute to square the hips. On the next exhale, bend the right leg, and then bring the left knee behind the right knee. Kind of like a curtsy squat, like you're a lady. Then really lower down, bring the compression thigh to low belly. Thigh to low belly. And then exhale, extend the legs. Bring the left leg up, three-legged dog. The exhale is on the bend, so bend on the exhale. Curtsy squat, knee behind knee. Inhale, extend. And then the next move would be exhale, the left leg stays extended as you bring the left toes towards the left ankle. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. As you bring the left toes towards the left ankle. So it's like a turbo dog, but you're bringing the left leg like a toe tap. Left toes towards the left ankle, hug the left hip in. Inhale, extend the left leg behind you. Exhale, hug the left knee behind the right knee. So finding a spot that feels good. Maybe when you try to bring the toe tap, it doesn't go all the way there. Maybe it just brings to the mat. That's okay. Just making your own rendition of this transition, following the breath, and that's perfect. 3 more times. The last time, when you bring your left toes towards your left ankle, maybe it doesn't reach there, maybe it does, but eventually we go into this lizard lunge. So it's like a low lunge, but the stance is more wide. So wide in the stance. Ooh. Okay, we're in this lizard lunge. Lengthen the back of the neck. Root down through the back toes. The right hand can be on a block or not. Lift the back knee up and then lower. Lift it up and lower. So we're going between a nice active lunge to a passive lunge. Maybe you look back, do a little twist. Maybe you even lift the inner arch of the left foot, grounding down through the left pinky for a different variation of lizard. But eventually, you reach the left arm up and back. Bend the back knee, grab the toes. This can be enough. You can just simply be working here. But if you want more, you can extend the front leg by bringing the hips back, look up, and go back into this low lunge. So sometimes I like to play with this movement, make it your own if you'd like, or simply stay into this low lunge, quad stretch. 3 more breaths. Nice. Eventually coming back into maybe you go back into a 3-legged dog from that lizard lunge. Maybe you go straight into a downward dog. But we're gonna switch sides. Oh God, these mosquitoes. Lift the right leg up, 3-legged dog. Stay here, ground down. Find stability, find comfort here in this inversion. And then eventually, exhale, bring the right knee behind the left knee, curtsy squat, cross the legs like a lady, bend profoundly. Maybe you find compression. And then lift the leg up, three-legged dog. Do that a few times, following the breath. And then eventually you keep that right leg extended in three-legged dog. Exhale, shift the weight forward, try to do a toe tap. Maybe your toes, bring that right hip in, plug the right hip in to lift the foot up even higher. Bring the right leg up, three-legged dog, and then curtsy squat. So it's this movement again on the other side. Integrating compression, integrating hip plugs, which helps in many things, but especially press handstands. Press handstands. When you're ready, you bring the right leg. Maybe you do a toe tap, but eventually you go into this lizard lunge wide stance. Left hand can be on a block or not. Ground down through the back toes, lift the back knee, and then lower the back knee. Going back and forth between this active and passive lizard lunge, opening the left hip in a way that invites strength, within flexibility. If you want to start lifting the inner arch of the right foot, doing this external rotation of that right hip. Nice. Eventually, reach your right arm up and back, bend the back knee, connect the toes to the feet. So right hand is touching the left foot. And then we're bringing the heel closer to the glute, making it really passive. You can stay here if you want more. You can extend the front leg by bringing the hips up and back. Doing whatever movement calls to you right now. Maybe you're not moving, maybe you're just staying there. That's okay. That's just as effective. Nice. Okay, eventually we go back into the low lunge. Bring the hands down, back into a three-legged dog, and a downward dog. Lower the knees, Bahamanasana tabletop pose. Root down through all parts of the hands, the knees, and the tops of the feet here. Look over the left shoulder, connect the left shoulder to the left hip. So try to bring the left shoulder closer to the left hip. Lengthen the right side body. Use your eyes as a tool. Inhale, neutral spine, reverse back to tabletop. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. So we're doing these like side pulses, following the breath. Exhale on the contraction. Inhale on the neutral spine. Sometimes people do audible exhales. I do. Trying to keep a neutral pelvis, neutral spine, neutral shoulders. Nice. 2 more times on each side. Maybe over-exaggerating it a little bit, or not. Now let's combine cat-cows with these side pulses, creating barrel-like movements. So tabletop position, listen and follow along. If you know what you're doing, do you. Neutral spine. Nice tabletop, shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. Inhale, arriving into cow pose. Look up, lengthen the throat. Bring the tailbone towards the sky, lengthen the belly, shoulders come up and back, contract the backside body. We're here in cow pose. Exhale, look over the right shoulder, contract the right side body, press the ground away, round the spine, tuck the chin, mad cat. Inhale, look over the left shoulder. Look up, cow pose. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. So you can understand now that we're creating circles. We're drawing circles with the crown over the head and with our tailbone. If you want to start to bend the elbows, maybe you shift your weight forward and backwards. Maybe it doesn't look like mine. That's okay. Just tapping into the little spaces in the core, front side, back side, shoulders, neck. Remembering to slow it down. Maybe you find the ujjayi breath again. Eventually, you reverse the motion. So see if you can do that. See if your body can pretend like it's on rewind. And it won't look the same usually. That's okay. Okay, walk the left, I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. When you're ready, tabletop, walk the left hand out a little bit. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Arms are like the shape of a T, opening the upper spine, the thoracic spine to the right side body. Exhale, look at your right palm as it goes underneath you, weaves away from you. Thread the needle, reach the hand away. Tap the right shoulder, inhale, reach up. 3 times. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap the shoulder. Last time, we're gonna relax and thread the needle. Reach your hand as far away as possible. Tap the shoulder and relax. My left hand likes to go to my left hip. Sometimes I like to extend my left leg, connect the foot to the hand. Root the left palm down, lift yourself out of it. Other side. Walk the right hand out a little, reach and extend the left arm up, look up. Exhale, look at the palm as it goes underneath you, reach it away, tap the shoulder 4 times. And the last time, see if you can reach your hand a little further away. Bring the shoulder down. Try to enjoy for the next 20 seconds or so. Bring the right hand down, get on out of it. Bring the forearms down, parallel to each other. Elbow tips are underneath the shoulders, more or less. Preparing to go into Dolphin pose, Ardha Pincha Mayurasana. Or is it Adho Pincha Mayurasana? Ardha Pincha Mayurasana. Let's see. But eventually, this is a downward dog. This is an inversion, but with your forearms down. So, root down through the toes, lift the hips up. The knees can still be bent. The heels can be lifted. We're pressing into the palms, the forearms, and the elbow tips. Root down through the left foot as you lift and extend the right leg up. Exhale, bring the toes down, switch sides. Do this 3 times. Not really focusing on what it looks like or if your leg is straight enough or your toes are pointed enough. Just focusing on integrating the muscles that need to be integrated to strengthen this pose. So really diving, pressing down into the elbow tips, palms, forearms. Eventually, if you want to, if this in your practice, you can do a Pinchamayurasana, a forearm stand. So lift one leg up, bend through the rooted leg, and extend. Bend and extend. Start to integrate little hops. Please only do this if you're really familiar with it. If you'd like to do this with the wall behind you, that's always nice. But do a Pinchamayurasana. Whatever variation you like to close off class, or more so, close off the peak part of class before we wind down. So about a minute or so of whatever you're seeking. Maybe you want to do a headstand or handstand. Free movement for the next 45 seconds before we start to wind down. I'm going to give us an extra 30 seconds for selfish reasons. 30 seconds. Push, push, push. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you decide that's enough. But eventually we'll be winding down on our back. So whenever you're ready, lay down on your back. Okay, bend the knees, root the soles of the feet down. Tuck the tailbone and lift the hips up slightly. See if you can ground down through the lumbar spine, the low back, the sacrum. See if you can ground down through all parts of your back here, your shoulders. Preparing for bridge pose, Pilates style. So we're not using our arms. Your arms can relax by your side. Press down to the feet evenly to lift the hips up. Activate the glutes, no back bend here. So a nice long spine between the shoulder blades and the knees. Lift the hips up, but not too high. Activate the glutes. Hug the knees in. Imagine there's a block there. Lift the heels up and lower. Lift and lower. 5. Keeping a nice straight line, firm abs. 3, 2, 1. We're not done yet. Lower the heels, sustain here. Lower the hips slightly and then lift them up by activating the glutes. Lower and lift. Lower and squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're not done yet. Exhale, lift the inner arches of your feet. Drive down through the pinky side edges of your feet. Open your legs like a book. And exhale, close them. Open and close. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back to a Pilates style bridge. If you need to take a break or get out of it, you're more than welcome to do so. But the last hard thing we're gonna do for class here is to lift the heels up, contract the calves, keep that straight line, and then lift one knee up. Lift the foot up and lower. Lift the other foot up and lower for 5, 4. Maybe you press your hands down. 3 to support yourself. 2. I know it's hard. Last set and 1. Lower the heels, lower the hips Bring the low back to the mat by tucking the tailbone. The feet come together, open the legs up like a butterfly. So the soles of the feet come together. The hands can come on the abdomen. The hands can come on the heart. Relax the expression of your face. See if you can find a nice natural rhythm of the breath. Maybe it takes a few deep inhales and exhales. Dead bug pose. Arms are above you, but not extended fully. So you look like a dead bug, really heavy on all parts of the back. The back of the skull. Relax the expression of your face, maybe even close your eyes. Start to roll the wrists and the ankles. Integrate the fingers and the toes, hearing the little cracks. Reverse the motion of the circle. Nice. Interlace the fingers, place the palms on the back of the skull, elbow tips pointing out. Start to bicycle the legs here. The really important thing here is to keep the low back close to touching or touching. Integrate the toes and the feet, the ankles. Imagine you're riding a bike in the sand. Really slow, big motions here. That's the hard part. Relax the jaw and in between the eyes for 3, 2, 1. Reverse the motion. I know it's hard. That's great. It's the last hard thing of class. I believe in you. Rewind for 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Soles of the feet down. Maybe you windshield wipe your legs a little bit with your knees bent. But eventually we're going to do a little twist, a little reclined twist to close class off. So extend the left leg down. Bring the right knee in. Interlace the fingers around the shin. Hug the knee to the right armpit. Find that little pinching sensation in the right hip flexor by using the strength of your arm and sustain there for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, guide the right knee to the left side of the mat with your left hand. Recline twist. Adjust the hips as needed. Look over your right shoulder. Do what feels good here. Enjoy. Eventually we get on out of it and switch to the other side. Extend the right leg down. Hug the left knee in. Get that pinch in the left hip. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Guide the right knee to the left side of the mat. Eventually, we get on out of it, grab onto the knees or the shins, and start to do little rock and rolls, giving yourself a little massage. The erector muscles, the muscles surrounding your spine, the glutes, the upper glutes, the shoulders. Just doing this about I don't know, 10 times or so. Eventually we're gonna come up into a Malasana Yogi squat, or any kind of squat really. We're closing off class here. You can grab onto your blocks or not. You can start to drip your knees forward, getting into the ankles, the mobility of the hips, ankles, and the knees. You can also do a little Malasana Yogi squat. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you'd like to practice with me more, I will be, throughout the whole year of 2023, uploading videos on a weekly, bi-weekly basis on my on-demand platform, an affordable platform, $19.99 for 1 month access for the $5 with a $5 off coupon. The coupon is $5, all caps, OFF. You can find me on moments.com. You can find me at Castorby Ascona Yoga at Moments. Or you can find me at my website, castorby.com. There you can find my on-demand platform link. And you can also practice with me live. So there's a lot of great affordable options to practice with me. It's always really nice to feel the support and love of the community that practices with me. So if you'd like to practice with me live or with pre-recorded classes, please check it out, www.castorby.com. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you soon, virtually or in person.